Welcome to the Tabletop Gaming Guild show. The Tabletop Gaming Guild show is all about the memories and experiences that playing tabletop games with friends and family can create. On this wonderful episode, we're doing our holiday buying guide. So, our recommendations if you're trying to get games for that gamer in your life, the non gamer, just have a family friendly game, all these things. We have 7 different categories we're going to go over, and we're each going to give our recommendation of what we think is a great game for it and maybe a tiny spiel on what the game is. But we're going to start off with family games. And this is going to be a family game, is just for all ages. Games with easy rules, broad appeal, where kids versus adults can play together. These are great games for mixed generation over holiday gatherings. Many folks report simpler and accessible games are the way to go for these events. So easy rules to teach, really easy to get into, and you really just start into getting into the fun immediately. We're going to go ahead and start with Nathan, and Nathan's going to give us his recommendation for a family, all ages sort of game.
So I'm going to talk about a game that I played recently, and it's a deduction game, which I normally would not recommend for families, but this one I think particularly works. That's the Search for Planet X. There are several versions of this. There's Search for the Lost Species is newer, and then there's Search for UAPs, which I haven't played, but I understand it's a very similar game. But the thing about this one is a deduction game that has built-in handicapping. So because it's app supported, it allows you to, in the app, you can set your own personal difficulty, so which tells you how many clues you're going to get before you start. And if you're playing it with kids, you don't even have to tell them that you're handicapping yourself. You could just, we're all going to play beginner, and you put yourself on genius. And so you can be competitive without feeling like you're going to make them feel bad for doing so poorly. It also does have a little bit at the end where for some people who like deduction may not like, because it's always down to like a 50-50 guess at the end, but it's an educated guess. So there's that.
I have not played that one yet, but it does seem like a cool game. How about you, Evan? What is your top pick for family all generation game?
So I picked one that me and my family have played quite a few different times. We're really close to finishing it out, but it would be the Shivers. So with that, I like to relate it to almost an RPG light, where you have one person that runs as a storyteller for the game that runs through and populates the different rooms that you can build. And what's really cool is it's like a pop-up book where everything kind of, you lay it up. You've got different things that you can actually open and look in there, and you put like inserts so it changes per uh, um, module that you do, and you just follow along the story. The rules are really light. Like, there's 4 rule books, but most of that is just like extra fluff. The actual rules for the game is, you could fit them on like 2 to 3 pages. It's real simple, um, and it's cooperative for everybody to go through the entire story. Um, Minimal, unlike RPGs where you're doing set adventures and whatnot, where you have to do research and reading and stuff like that. You can pick up the thing that you're going to do, read it for about 5 minutes, and you're ready to roll. It's really simplistic. I really like it. The box is 14 plus. I've been playing that with my youngest, who, when we started, was 7, now 8. No problems. Really good, fun game.
Yeah, and it has amazing table presence. It does look amazing on the
Absolutely.
table. So I do appreciate that one a lot. However, with mine, I've played it with people of all ages, and everyone has liked it so far. Uh, and especially with kids, when you tell a kid, you know what, we're going to play a game, you're going to try to get your meeples off of this island and have them survive. But wait, you can eat your father's meeples with a shark. You can blow up your father's boat with a sea serpent dragon thing you do. You can push people around with a kaiju, and they're just like, oh my gosh. And meanwhile, the island's disappearing and sinking, and volcanoes are erupting. And this is Survive the Island, which is a readaptation of an older Portals game that's of the same idea. But this one added kaiju, which are a little bit better than the whales because they can go on wet land too, and they can a little bit functionally better. And overall, this is a nice game that is fun, pretty easy to set up because it's a communal thing to set up. So it's not just one person setting up the game, the group sets it up. So it gets pretty nice that way. And the game doesn't last too long. It actually gets more intense as the game goes by because you have those last couple meeples. And can you even get them to the shore before the last volcano erupts? Really a lot of fun, very easy to teach. Really nice table presence because it has those the different types of terrain for the island are different levels, so it looks really cool. Overall, I think it's a really fun game, really easy to teach, so it works with the all ages thing. Like it a lot.
That one was very close to being my choice for this specific topic as well. But I wanted something even easier to teach, easier to play, cooperative gameplay. Because again, family all ages, especially if you're getting the family together for a holiday or some kind of gathering and you want to dive into the game really, really quick. Um, the one that I keep coming back to it's just an easy word game, and that is just one. So very, very simple to play. You're the person whose turn it is going to hold a card up over their head so that everybody else can see it, but they can't see it. There's numbers 1 to 5. They choose a number, then that indicates which word you are going to try to get them to guess. Everybody gets to choose one word to give them as a clue to guess the word. But then the fun part for me, I think the best part is that then before they can actually give the clues to that person, everybody has to compare their clues. And if anybody did the same word, that word cannot be used as a clue. And so you can have a big group and still winnow it down to a small number of clues, which is just kind of like a fun, kind of like a slight fun game within the game where everybody's trying to not choose the same word, which usually ends up causing people to choose the same word, and it's funny. And then the person guesses, and then you're hoping they get it, and then there is a little tracker in the rule book that shows you like how well you did, depending on how many players you have and how many correct guesses you get. So super easy game, very small box, very easy to travel around, easy to teach. And honestly, once you have the game and you know how the game works, you don't even really need the game anymore. You can make up your own words. So super simple, just one, fantastic.
One of my
Yeah,
favorite
plus
games. It's
also,
really cool.
yeah, it's a pretty good one. I mean, it's a lot of fun. Just trying to sit there and see how some of your friends are.
And
Oh
it can
yeah,
get,
and
yes,
what how their
exactly.
brain works.
Yep, yep. And again, it can be you can play the game for like a ton of rounds. You can play the game for a handful of rounds. So
Yeah.
the game length can vary to as you play it as long as you want to play it. And then you can just be done and that's it. It's just it lends itself, I think, to a very good time. And everybody's kind of laughing around the table and hanging out. So it's a very there's like zero stress
Yeah.
playing this
I
game.
agree.
Now, those have all been pretty decent, recommendations so far. Mine is the only game that I've been able to get a cantankerous old like
Cantankerous, big
he,
words today.
yeah. I got the word of the day calendar.
You're gonna win.
68-year-old lady to
Plus,
play
he
this
w-
one.
he normally would use other words, but we won't go into that.
Okay.
Mm. But yes, who refuses to really learn new games. And this is one of the few games that I've gotten her to play, and also have gotten all the nieces and nephews to also enjoy playing as well. Um, but James is going to hate to hear it. That's because it's Dixit. I mean, between the art, it's kind of the cool cards, and the fact that you are trying to come up with a story, there's a thematic things to it. It really kind of brings everyone into it, and you're kind of starting to be like, okay, how can I describe this, but not describe it too right, too well. Like a nice kind of like balancing act, and
Yeah.
and then sometimes you might even, if like you have a connection with somebody, you might be able to go like, oh, hey, plumber, and like, somebody
On this
looks kind of
anime
like Mario in
episode
there.
4.
Yeah. So it's like they might be able to get a reference, you know. But I don't know. I mean, it's between like the visuals, which I'm a huge fan of, um, and the fact that it's just, it's replayable, you know.
So
And
I
when
will.
you hear one of my games on the list, you might notice a theme.
Oh no. So I actually think I know what one of the games are. I will say this: if you like the apples to apples sort of mechanism, Dixit is a better version. Apples and apples just have words on it. Dixit has amazing art. And this art is abstract enough that it can be used for many different sort of concepts, but it's not too abstract. So it does sort of resemble something like an
Mhm.
idea or a concept. They did a really good job with this. They have a billion expansions, so you can have unlimited replayability. Uh, my kids used to have every single expansion, and used to, and um,
Oh,
and
oh,
well, no, it's not that bad. One of my kids took it with them, so I can't.
oh,
It is what it is. And then they lost it, so now they're in the they're in the process of buying it all again. But either way, I'm everyone knows my hatred of that game, but it is actually a good game and a good recommendation. So, I'm just joking
yeah.
there. But
Plus, also, you can then do what I like to call
oh,
code
don't push
names
it.
with hard mode. Play code names with Dixit cards.
Actually, they well, I mean, they have Codenames pictures,
Yeah,
but yeah, that's actually a good idea. I think that, and you could take the Codenames pictures rules and just has Dixit cards. So perfect. All right, so our next category is going to be party and large group games. Now, this is going to be games that have high player count. They are generally games that have a high energy level and games that keep high player interaction and keep you engaged the entire time, yet can play a large number of people. So we're going to start off with Nathan, and we're going to hear what shenanigans he has for the party game.
Because
Because also, I don't like this category.
James knows I'm deeply antisocial, so this is a barely rough category for me. I haven't played an actual party game in several years. The closest thing I come up with is Scout, which just could play 5 players. So it's not really a huge, large group game, but basically it's a simple, fast card game where if you played BS, it's basically that game. You have to put down, if you put down a pair of twos, the next person has to put down a pair of threes or
Okay.
3 twos, or up it, and they keep upping it until you can't up it anymore. But each time you put down cards, you have to take one of the cards that's on the table into your hand. The twist, though, is you cannot shift cards in your hand, so it's very important. When you're
Oh, like Bonanza.
yeah, so
Where
it's
you can't move them.
very important your initial placements when you pick cards up and making sure you're pulling things out of your hand in a way to slot cards together.
That is pretty interesting.
yeah. Is that the game that I have right now showing on stream?
I don't have the stream up, but probably. We played Odin on the channel, which is a very similar game, except it doesn't
Yeah,
have
that should be it. It has like a tent on it
Yep.
Yep.
for the game. Yeah, that's it. Scout's it. Yep, that's one you have up. It's 100%.
Yeah, I've been trying to transition to that for a little bit while everyone's talking too. So
That's good. And I knew that's a game I've wanted to play, and mainly because of the description Nathan gave, because it sounds like my type of game. So that's really cool. How about you, Evan? And that actually it's a small box game too, I believe.
Yes, very small box.
Yeah. All right, Evan, what you got?
Well, for party game, I think everyone knows which way I'm going to go. It's a game
I know.
that
I'm
is
hoping, and it's Let's hear it.
it is near and dear to my heart.
Yeah.
It's at the top of the list of party games. Plays really, really well with higher player counts. Uh, the stories that come out of it at the end are some of my favorite things. And it's not the game you think of because I can't justify a Christmas gift at $150.
I know. No,
so
I know
pick
what game
just
it
one.
is.
Mhm.
You're picking just one?
Just one.
Oh, I thought you were going to pick We're Doomed.
No. So I was gonna go with that, but I'll get into that when I get into a different
Fair.
subject.
No foreshadowing.
So, I picked just one. Peter already talked about what it was, but I mean, for a party game, your rules explanation of how to play is 2 minutes. The game box says 3 to 7. It's 3 to however many. Grab paper and a pen. I mean, you can play it. There's really no player count. I mean, you can play it with, if people can spell, they can play the game. It's pretty simple. It's fun. The stories that come out of that are absolutely phenomenal, because how many people were going to pick rhombus, but you put it down and 7 people put it down. So
I mean,
it's a good
Rom-
time. I've never had a bad time playing just one. I think it's a great game to pick for this category. Plus, you can get a copy for $20.
Yeah.
Rhombus is my favorite word.
No.
Of course.
This
No.
is a party game I actually want to try at some point. I have not played it yet.
Oh, we could play it over Skype. It's one of the games that was actually really good during COVID. A lot of
Yeah.
people played it online. It was just perfect for that. It's just a really good icebreaker / party game, and I can count on one hand how many party games I like.
Yeah, we could just play it on here together.
Yeah,
at some
that's
point.
my kryptonite. But I love just one. I think it's a great game.
Yep.
We should just do it
Agreed.
sometime.
We should.
Just do it.
I mean, Nathan, the AI, he'll just think up something every time, but we'll the real people here. All right, so my game, I don't think any of you have ever heard of it. It's one of my favorite indie publishers it came from, and I just got the privilege of playing it. It's just out right now. And it's one of those games that, when you're dreaming at night or you're thinking during the day, and you're like, wow, wouldn't it be really great to be a whale? I would love to be a whale. I want to just swim in the ocean and eat krill and plankton all day long, just like everybody thinks. But then Nathan, the AI whale, comes in and he doesn't know how to act right. That's going to be the idea that you get go for the krill. So there's a little bit of pun inside there too. So your whale's going for the krill. The basic way that this game works is you're going to go over multiple rounds. You're going to have these cards come out, and these cards are going to have different values for them, and they're going to go from 1 through 10. You have a card hand of 12 cards. You have a 1 through 10 and 2 special cards. One of the special cards lets you return a card to your hand, and the other one lets you get a patch of krill and plankton that no one picked for the round. So on your turn, you're going to see the array. And it's going to be numbers 1 through 10. If duplicates come out, they go in there. 10 is worth 10 points. 1 is worth 1 point. And if any of them are krill, they double themselves. So if it's a 4 krill, it's worth 8 points. So you're going to look at these stacks, and everyone's simultaneously playing. They're going to pick a number from their hand and place it face down, and then everyone's going to flip it. I think you know where I'm going with this. If 2 people have the same number, they get nothing. Only the people that have different numbers will get stuff. And what you're trying to do, it becomes this really interesting bluffing game and trying to outthink people so there's a lot of player interaction in there, because you are just analyzing the poop out of everybody else there, because you're trying to figure out, how do I get these points? It's just a lot of fun. I played it with my kids. I played it with my wife and some of my older kids. It's just a really great game, and it goes up to 8 players with the expansion, 7 players with the base game. Just overall, easy to learn, quick, nice party game.
And that pretty much perfectly describes the game I'm about to say.
Is it go for the krill?
No,
flip the table.
the very last part that you said there, which is just
Okay.
fun, easy. Yeah, and so party game, I wanted to go for a higher player count than even 6, kind of like what James just did. So I chose a game that went up to 8 on the box, and that is a game that I was just introduced to this year, playing with some of these guys, and that is Ink and Gold.
That's
I
a good
really like this one. Very, very simple to play, to teach. everybody each turn, all you're doing is choosing, am I going to continue to move forward or am I going to skedaddle? And so the idea is that you are adventurers going down into some sort of uh, dungeon or crypt or whatever, and you're trying to get as much treasure as possible. And as you do, cards are being flipped over one by one, and they're either going to show an amount of treasure that everybody is finding, or they're going to show some sort of trap and or enemy, could be creatures that are going to try to kill you and or whatever. So whenever the card is flipped over, then everyone decides, am I going to continue on trying to get more treasure, or do I take the treasure I already have and get out of here, hoping that by the end of the game, I have the most treasure. So it's push your luck. Each round ends when two of the same traps and or creatures show up, and then it's over. If you're still in the tomb at that time, you lose all the treasure that you had tried to hoard. So it's just knowing the right time to flee. We've played it here on the channel. I've played it in person with some of the guys, and it's just a lot of fun. The more people you have playing it, it's even better. You give each other a hard time when you leave too soon, and then you give the other people a hard time when you left at the right time and they didn't. And so there's just a lot of fun back and forth, egging each other on, and it's just a really enjoyable game. And so I would highly recommend it for anybody wanting to get a group of people together to play an easy game.
Good pick.
Incan Gold.
Yeah, that's a pretty good pick. I mean, also, let's guys, trust me, I'm leaving this turn.
Yeah.
Never trust John ever.
Nope. 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 Bad idea.
What about you, John? Party game.
Party game. Well, I decided to go with something a little more, nerdy, I guess, in a way. Might also be a little more not. It's more party game, but it's kind of more for people who have probably a little bit older kids. Should be able to play fine. Um, but it's also a trivia game, and that would be actually, because it's just got enough of that little kind of twist in it that for me really makes it really enjoyable for me. Because it's just you're saying stuff that's just a little bit wrong on things that a lot of people have knowledge of, or in the case when we were playing at the library game day, uh, my partner was sitting over there. It's like, oh yeah, I've heard of this anime that none of us had ever heard of before. So you know, like they're just like hyper focused, but it's kind of like there's also the fun of, okay, I know there's something wrong in here. What sounds plausible wrong? So you then start getting everybody kind of guesses like, actually, he didn't go to the market that day. It's like, no, he did.
They need to
So,
do one for Brandon Sanderson books. I will
mm,
destroy that one. Destroy.
what they're probably, I would be surprised if there wasn't a Brandon Sanderson question in there
There
somewhere.
should be. Like one on the Stormlight Archive. Oh man, I make you guys weep with how many points I would get instead
You
of
would get
0
one.
like last time.
You would get 1 point for that.
Well, I mean, they all have to be that. The whole game. No,
Yeah.
no other questions but
But
that.
that's the whole point is it's general trivia, so it's kind of
I'm cheating. Don't worry about it.
yeah. Okay.
But yeah, good pick. It's definitely a great game for that geek that likes all the different medias, like watching anime, likes music, likes sci-fi,
Science,
all that fun stuff. Yeah, science,
sci-fi.
just
Yeah.
all the categories. So yeah, good pick. So we are now on to gateway strategy games. This is going to be the next level game. So you have the person in your life who has started to get into the board game hobby. They've played some of the games we just talked about. They're starting to look at what is the next game there with a little bit more meat on it, with a little bit more strategy on it, with a little bit more depth to it. So that's what we're looking for this one, and these are recommendations. We're gonna start with Nathan. What do you got for it?
So I'm going to talk about one of my favorite games that I haven't talked about in a little while, and that's Cosmic Encounters. Now, Cosmic Encounters is a high chaos game, so it's a little bit
It
lighter on the
is
strategy, but it's all
high
about,
player count too. Best.
yeah, it's best with 3 or 4, really, in my opinion. But it's all about these crazy powers that each player gets, and that like completely rule breaking. And there's hundreds of these powers you can get because there's so many expansions for this game. But the core game is pretty simple. You are trying to take over people's planets. You are sending ships. Whoever sends us most ships, plus the card modifiers, wins the planet. And you can do alliances and whatnot. But the thing that makes this a next level game is because it is a player balanced game. Because of the insane powers, you have to have enough situational awareness to realize this one player has an absurd power that's going to kick all our butts. So we need to watch this player. If you don't have that awareness, it's going to be a runaway game. But I think that what makes this a really great Christmas gift is once you buy it for them, you have your next like 12 Christmas set up with all the expansions that there are for this game. You can just keep on buying more content.
I will give one big caveat. There is still stock out there, but it is out of print.
It's still fairly well
Fantasy
easy to
Flight,
find.
the company that Fantasy Flight, the company that publishes, is no longer publishing it. So, but there is, like, I just checked to make sure because I was on like, oh, we're recommending something you can't buy. It's out there. You can still get it. Amazon has it. Your friendly local game store probably has it. It's one of those quintessential classic games that a lot of people know or have been in the hobby at least one point or another. And it's pretty simple on the way that you set up the planets and the little easy to see the ships that you stack up. So just from a distance, you can know immediately how many ships people have. Really, really well designed game it is, but it is highly asymmetric. It's like almost Glory to Rome level
Mm-hmm.
in asymmetric player power. So you have to be really uh, keying in on like broken stuff for that game and being able to diplomacy style gang up on people when needed. But yeah, not bad.
Yeah, and to further that too, as someone that spends a lot of time in buy sell trade groups, that is one that is commonly available there too. So just because it's out of print, it is not hard to get.
Yes. Yeah. So how about you, Evan?
Well, for my gateway game, I tried to think what would be a good way to get that next step for that person. And that's how I kind of formulated this game. And the question you have to ask yourself to play this game: would you have a boat? If you did have a boat, what would you do with that boat?
Oh, Viking.
Espe- Especially if you heard of a volcano that was going to
Oh
erupt
no. Oh.
and there was all these cats on this island that needed rescue.
Oh.
So obviously the correct answer, and I know Peter's with me, is save them. You got to save as many
Yeah.
cats as you can.
Especially
So I
exotic ones that match with your point structure.
Why'd you save
so
all of
I
them?
picked the Isle of Cats.
It's a
So
good
the
one.
reason I picked that game, is there's 2 levels to that game. There's a family mode which is very rules light, and it takes a lot of the extra rules out, and it just turns it into a polynomial game where you're drafting and arranging cats on your ship, and you're following very simple rules on scoring. So someone that has just played some very basic entry level games, it is a great step into thinking strategically, working with you know building your boat out and all that. And then you can play into the regular mode where it adds some more rules, um, where you have to rescue the cats using fish as a currency, and you have lessons that you have to play for points. It is not a bigger step. It's not that much more of a bigger step to go from entry level game to the family mode of Isle of Cats versus going from family mode of Isle of Cats to regular mode of Isle of Cats. So the artwork is great. It's bright, it's colorful. You're saving all these cats. If you ever have had a cat, you know that they lay in weird positions all the time. That's what they're doing, and you can't move them because they're stubborn, just like all my cats that are currently upstairs. Um, Fun game. Plays 1 to 4. You can teach this to younger kids. Older kids will play this. We played this at Library Game Day. Good game.
Yeah. I did forget about the family mode for it, so that is another reason like it's really good because it sort of can ease you into more complicated mechanics.
Plus,
It has one of my favorite rule books personally ever, because you read the rule book, and as you read the rule book, you are starting to actually play the game. It's not you don't read the rule book and then play the game. You can read the rule book at the table with your friends and be playing the game and learning the game as you read the rule book. I think it's very well written. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
and when you open the box and you lift the top, you have a spot to put your cat.
Yeah,
As
it
specifically
literally
tells
says
you-
on the inside,
Yeah, I did
put
see
your
that.
cat here.
So
It's a good game. I like it.
My game involves a boat, and it involves a verb because Viking is a verb, not a people. So my game is a great introductory game here where you get to play as a Viking and you get to learn worker placement, but you get to learn worker placement with one of my favorite mechanisms for a worker placement game, which is you put down a worker, you pick up a worker. I really think that is a really great mechanism, and it's in almost, I think, all the Shem Phillips games. And this game here has a couple expansions for it, so you can build on top of it. But this is Raiders of the North Sea. Love the theme and love the idea of the game. Basically, what you're doing in this game is you're building up your provisions, you're building up your crew, so you can go Viking and go out to the mainland and raid these monasteries and raid these forts and bring back all the goods to your jarl. And you can get points through your crew that you have situated in there. You can get points by honoring the jarl certain gifts. Game's just really well laid out, and it has a really good timer because you're pushing through these, so you're keeping everyone moving because they're not going to just sit there and like gather resources. They're really looking and really caring about what you're doing because you're taking opportunities away from them. So they have to be strategic on which opportunities they want to work towards. I think it's a great game. It does have a mechanism where you lose the crew members, but you gain lots of points for it, so it softens that blow. One of the expansions also like incentivizes you losing the crew members so they can go to Valhalla and you get all sorts of really cool stuff. Just a really great game and one you can expand upon. And that's mine, which is Raiders of the North Sea. And there's a whole trilogy of games you can play with it. Or it's probably
Raiders of the North
trilogy
Sea.
now.
Yeah. Raiders of the North Sea is continually in my top 10 games, and it just doesn't ever seem to want to move from there. It's a great game, period. I will play that one anytime. So for me, the next game, I was trying a lot to pull from games that I've played recently for this list, and I went more like rather than being gateway strategy, but like next level. So this one for me is like if you've been playing games for a little while and you want to go a next level, I found this one to be that for me specifically, and that is Obsession.
Okay.
I really, really enjoyed playing this game the couple of times that I have played it. It is a bit of a themed game as well. It's very Regency, Jane Austen-y, Downton Abbey kind of game where you are building up your estate. You are doing some worker placement and worker management as you are utilizing different types of workers who will allow you to take very specific types of actions. There's some good strategy in there because you're looking at the different actions you want to take and you're realizing that each of them need the same type of worker. So you're trying to figure out when can I play this worker? How long is it going to take me to get them back so that I can do the other action? Um, it was probably one of the ones that I played most recently that stretched my brain on the strategy level, but not to a point that it broke it. Because that happens a lot for me, where the strategy eventually gets to the point that I'm just like, and I don't even care anymore because I can't quite grasp it. And this one was like kind of right on the edge, and I really enjoyed my playthroughs of this one. I enjoy Downton Abbey, I enjoy Jane Austen type stuff. And so to get to have a board game that took that theme and I think brought that theme to life so well. There's a lot of fun um, text on the cards. And if you're somebody who likes to do any sort of role play at all in your games, you can do this with your friends as you're playing it and kind of contextualize the activities that you're taking and the people who are being brought into the different activities, who's going bowling on the lawn together, who's going for a walk together, who's riding horses together. And there is also then the added mechanic that you're trying to gain the attention of the higher ups so that maybe one of them will join your family by the end of the game, giving you some extra points. So a lot of really good strategy in there, and it definitely stretched my gaming brain, but in an enjoyable way. So for me, that's Obsession.
I imagine there's some
Yeah,
people that
I,
could
I,
struggle with this game. I couldn't think of anybody in particular, but yeah, I could see that happening.
Well, I think there
It
was one
broke
person on this
broke
channel
Nathan.
that became obsessed with trying to
Yeah,
figure out the math behind Obsession.
his
yeah,
AI just skipped.
yeah. I mean, well, I have a couple of questions here for you, Peter. Though, one,
Sure,
why did you invite that CAD to your tea party? And
because it
Oh
two,
was
yes,
going to
yes.
be fun.
Yeah, it did
two,
loving it up.
why'd you have to pick the same game that I also had for this category?
Oh,
Yeah.
we
Oh,
doubled up in the same round. I love it.
Yes. Yeah,
so far
because
it went back to Peter pretty well.
yeah. But yeah, like for me, it was I actually introduced some of my gaming friends that I meet every year at PAX East. I introduced them to this game, and they fell into it hard because it hit all the right notes for them. Thematically, it is great. I mean,
Yeah,
all the characters are unique, and you're looking for the attention of the Rothschilds in particular. Uh, and yeah,
yeah. It's like 3 occasions you got a chance.
yep, to at least get them to where they're visiting your state. And yeah, it does a good job of kind of getting you to think of, okay, I'm building a combo engine with my cards and also a
Yeah,
tableau that I'm trying to interact, and I need these workers too. And like you said, yeah, it starts getting you thinking about a lot of different systems interacting with each other, but you're also kind of brought in by the theme as well. Um,
yeah.
yeah, it's a great game. So yeah, Peter, you're a genius.
Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa! No kidding. Yeah,
Whoa,
that's good.
that's a bit much, but I'll
I
take
don't
it.
know.
Peter just cut
But
me
I'll
Maybe a
off
little
our
take
too
it.
list.
heavy.
That's fine.
Yeah, you
That's
can.
right.
Go rogue, Nathan.
So now we're into Christmas themed games or holiday themes or anything with that holiday or gift giving feel. And James is coming
Themes.
back just in time to hear me finish introducing the category, and I don't think he's happy with that introduction for reasons
No,
you'll
no.
find out.
At the end, we're like,
Oh, he's going again.
oh, come on.
So,
All right, it's stabilized.
my favorite holiday theme, which that's admittedly a very narrow category, is a game I played recently called 12 Days. Now, this is an interesting take on trick taking. First off, it's played over 12 rounds. You play through the 12 days, and each time you're trying to win the day. You do this by playing cards from your hand, and the cards range from just 1 1, 2 2s, 3 4, and up to 12 12s. But each time, first thing you have to do is pass a card to the player on your left, then secretly play a card, reveal them all at the same time. The lowest number wins the day. But each day is going to get more points because the 12th day is worth 12 points. The first day is only worth 1 point. So everybody's playing their like high numbers early on, and often passing their high numbers later in the game. The twist to that makes that potentially bad is at the end of the game you have a set collection mechanic. So whoever has the majority of each number left in your hand, because you're drawing a card at the end of each turn and ending up with 12 cards, if you have the most 12s, you're getting 12 points. So keeping your 12s may be good, but that means you often have to keep a lot of 12s. So that's pretty much the game. It's pretty easy to explain. That is pretty much all the rules.
Okay. I haven't played this one yet.
I would say this would be, of the games I have on my list, is probably the hardest to find. It's still available, just not widely available.
Okay.
Hopefully, coming to Christmas, it might, be reprinted.
So, Evan, do you have a easier one to find?
Yes-ish.
Yes, ish. What is happening?
So, holiday themed, Christmas themed. I actually picked a game that we have played at the Johnson household the last 2 Christmas times, and that is Santa's Workshop. So Santa's Workshop,
Yeah.
it was put out by Elf Creek Games a couple years ago, and then it went into a second edition printing in 2023. It revamped some rules and whatnot, but the game is it's a basic worker placement game. Collect resources, use the resources, and in this game, you're building toys for Santa. And you can also do other things, like you can collect different reindeers, decorate the trees, and do all sorts of stuff like that. So it's perfectly themed for Christmas. It's a fun game. There's 2 modes on it, so you could play it on a really rules light, or there's a harder version. Usually at this, we're playing it on the 23rd, 24th, and we're just kind of getting to the point that we're getting to Christmas. So like we've usually just played really, really light and just like, here we go, there we go, guys, let's go to bed now. So it it plays really well for younger kids because it has that ability to play on the lighter. But if you want something with a little more complexity, you have that option too. Um, I say it's easily available-ish because Elf Creek Games ran into some problems, and for the most part had to close up shop.
Yeah.
They
Very sad.
they kickstarted this and it was left undelivered. Well, that left a lot of people kind of going, well, what's going to happen here? And then there was talks, I think it was around May, that somebody was in talks with Elf Creek to purchase this IP and to finish um, the producing and delivering of the game to the Kickstarters. And that was, I have my notes here, Genius Games took over.
Oh, okay.
So right now, as of this recording, from what I understand, they're working to finish that up, and there is supposed to be stock for Christmas time.
One would hope, because that's the time to do it.
Yeah.
So fingers crossed with that. You can go right now. The only place you can really get it is actually through Amazon, which I think that they're using Amazon as their distributing platform for it. So but it's available there for $60. Or $50, I think, $50. But it's a really fun game. Looks great on the table. Get it.
So one thing I'm going to caveat with is there's a lot of holiday games out there, and most all of them are awful. So they gave you 2 examples of good games on there, but I'm hard pressed to actually find one. So I'm going with a themed game that's good to give at a holiday to someone that I think you're going to get a lot of bang for your buck out of. And this is a game where lots of people like playing D&D, lots of people like going adventuring. But instead of adventuring, wouldn't you rather be the politician / lord who just funds those? Doesn't actually go out and do anything, but you fund those things and you get all the accolades from these adventures. Well, that's Lords of Waterdeep. I made it sound really bad, but it's really good. You're playing as a lord or lady, and you are in charge of, or trying to be in charge of Waterdeep. And you're trying to get more prestige through the game. You're doing this through a straightforward worker placement mechanic. You're trying to get cubes, which are these adventurers, to be able to complete quests, to build up your prestige or points, to be the next lord or lady of Waterdeep. It has that D&D theme that's pretty popular, and but it's not at the level that you need to be a D&D fan. It just, if you are, people will be drawn to it. If you aren't, it doesn't matter. It doesn't beat you over the head with D&D. It's just that theme, and you can play it and not even care about D&D. It's just a really good worker placement game with a really cool sort of um, uh, uh, material management sort of aspect to it, where you're trying to complete the quests. You can have some intrigue cards, so you can have some interaction with the other players and do some cool stuff. Overall, I think it's a great game. It's a very solid game. It's been out for a long time, but it's still going because of how good it is. And that's mine.
Do
Excellent
people
game.
even play D&D anymore? Is it still a thing?
It's still a thing. I don't know. I mean,
I
that
don't
crowd's been dwindling,
know.
I think, a little bit, but
I don't
it's still
know.
there, right, Peter?
Maybe.
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, RPGs are still always going to be around.
Oh,
Will
yeah.
D&D
Are
be the
they?
only thing people
Are they?
play? It's a
I will
cool.
I
Yeah.
will say this. I will say this. I love D&D, but I currently have 2 games that I'm looking to play, and neither of them are D&D.
What's wrong with that?
Nothing wrong with that. I think it's
They're
fantastic.
RPGs. I don't. Yeah.
Get out there and play other RPGs. There's so many phenomenal ones. It's fantastic.
And Wizards of the Coast, don't send the Pinkertons after us for saying this.
Oh, do I just want to fight? Like
So,
Rock'em
Go after
Sock'em
James.
Robots,
so
apparently.
holiday themed games. Everybody, I know that this is a holiday wish list, but Christmas is not the only holiday.
Oh, no.
Tomorrow, as of the
Huh?
time of this recording, is Halloween. And what better game to play at Halloween than Betrayal at House on the
I do
Hill?
it.
You gotta get this. If you like I mean, this is the time of the year. This is the month to be watching all of your fun horror movies, slasher movies, people going into houses and seeing all sorts of horrible things. This is that time of year. And Betrayal at House on the Hill takes that B horror film and it brings it to life in gameplay. You get to have a good cooperative time of play during the game, and then you get to have the terrible time where one person betrays everybody else, and then you have to defeat them. This game, I will be very honest. This game has its downsides when it comes to sometimes the rules of the different adventures that you will play through are not straightforward, and you will have to make some decisions at the table with your friends. But I tell you, it is worth the fun that you can get out of this game if you go into it just wanting to have a really fun time. You will have sessions where everybody is shrunk down to miniature size and you're being chased around by cats as you're trying to pull together the different little rubber bands and pencils that you need to build a airplane and fly out of this haunted house. It is a really, really good time. It's got a lot of different implementations. It's got some expansions. It's in its third or fourth
Oh, it's up
edition
there.
at this point. There is a D&D themed version if you
Yeah,
want to go
Betrayal
away
House.
from if you want to go from the B horror film side and you want to do Betrayal at Baldur's Gate, you can do
Yeah.
that as well. It is just a really fun game that I have been playing now since I was a teenager, and I love this game dearly. So if you're like me and you want a holiday theme ish game but not Christmas, choose the better holiday, Halloween. Go with Betrayal at House on the Hill.
Now, I will throw out a caveat. This does not suffer from what most games like this do, where it gets a little samey. Betrayal House on the Hill has so many different haunts that you can
You
run into.
get
You're
yeah,
highly
you
unlikely that you're going to hit the same one ever.
no. I've played this game dozens of times. There are 50 adventures
Yeah.
in just the base
The
game.
base game.
In just the base game, and I've played this game dozens of times and literally only repeated an adventure once.
Yeah. And even then, it has a different feel because the map's
It,
different.
the map's different, the players are different. It can have a very different feel.
Yeah. Lots of
I
replayability.
enjoy this game, and it's a good varied age range. You can get some good like teenagers in on this game as well as adults. Um, that I mean, I wouldn't go much lower than probably about 14, 13 years of age with this one, but I think it's a really good, solid game. Lots of fun.
Also
All right.
easy to get
Oh, very
and
easy to get. Yeah,
not
you can get
expensive.
this. Nope, you can get this game. You might show up at your at your Goodwill and find a copy
Yeah,
of the
you
game.
can get a copy there
Like
too.
it's you can find Betrayal anywhere. So yeah, John, what about you?
Well, I mean, I'm going to say a couple of things here. I I was actually curious. Have you played the Baldur's Gate one? Because I haven't. I've never gotten a chance to play it yet myself.
I have. I have
So,
played it and I own it and it's fun. Yeah,
all right.
you can have an adventure where you're playing and you're pretty sure you're not sure who the bad guy is, but it turns out that the bad guy is one of the party members who has actually been a bugbear in disguise the whole time, and
I
they're trying to kidnap you and take you to the goblins.
I think I
Nice.
would recognize if they were not themselves and actually a bugbear.
Nope, you did
But
not. Their disguise was so good. They
So
rolled
good.
so
but
good on their
So good.
stealth.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
but
Yeah.
if you've ever looked
And deception
at a
roll,
bugbear,
perfect.
Obviously,
Evan
they're a
is
bugbear rogue.
unconvinced.
I am very unconvinced.
He'll be the only
No,
one in the
Bugbear
party, but
rogue
like,
with
guys, this is a
20
bugbear. Like,
charisma.
yeah,
don't be that mean to him.
I've played
Don't be
Betrayal at
that
Baldur's
mean.
Gate multiple
I've
times. So instead of the different levels of the house, you were either on the street of Baldur's Gate, or you're inside
Okay.
buildings, or you're in the sewers.
Okay.
so
Okay.
I would just like to continue this thought of if I was at a library game day
Hmm.
Yes.
and a 6'4" bodybuilder came in and said, "I'm Peter," I
Yep.
would be like, "No, you're not."
I am hurt. I am
But
hurt
then
by
he
this.
would roll the dice and be like all 20s and be like, I guess you are.
Even
Wait,
if
Now,
Peter can't
James,
roll?
even if James was there and saying, "Yeah, that is Peter," I would be like, "You have a concussion. Go home. That's not Peter."
Yeah.
no,
uh,
that's it. Greg is also not an alien, too. Let's just go with that.
we'll go with that. All right,
We'll go
back
with
to
that.
John.
All right. So,
He almost thought that was a segment.
another, again, you know what? I'm in sync with Peter here on something else. Not quite the same game this time, but in that picking the holiday to go with is obviously Halloween. Or a little more, specifically like a Day of the Dead kind of game.
Ooh.
Yes. Um, and I don't know if any of you guys have played this one. I have played it twice now with someone who picked it up, I think, at Gen Con. Um, and this game is called Ofrenda.
No, I'm not.
Never
A
heard of
friend
it.
of who?
Yeah. So this one is more of a tableau drafting game. And
And I do like me drafting games.
mhm. And basically, it's kind of more of the there's the market of basically four different family members that have deceased, and you're trying to make all of them happy so that they'll come back and um, uh, accept your offerings and be happy, and in this celebration, that their spirits will cross over and they'll visit you for the day. Um, the thing is, though, a lot of them don't like each other or don't like specific members or branches of the family, or ones who like specific offerings. And so you have like this basically kind of octagon board, where there's like three, I think like five and three, and you're placing these different family members who are kind of in different five different color sets. There's five different types of offerings, and each of them will have restrictions. Like, I want to be by two family members who want a salt offering, or it's like I want to be by no members from the blue and orange branches of the family. Or I want to, um, you know, there's also like different variations of even more restrictive. Trying to remember what it was. It's like, oh, I want to be by only these two. Like,
Okay.
anybody who is like an orange member of the family or wants a water offering.
Orange
And
members of the
so,
family can't have water.
yeah, no, there's some of 'em so you'll have, like, basically, you're trying to figure out, okay, there's this one out here. I really need, a 4th, salt offering, to put into my tableau here of, family members, because another thing you're also collecting is candles. So as you're placing the family members, there's candles that are slots that are in between each of them, and when you go and completely surround that candle slot, you'll then get to place one of the ones that you've drafted at that point. And they'll have different, like requirements of, hey, you need to have one of each offering type, or you need to have the most of this offering, or the most of this family member color. A lot of different, kind of variations of the scoring there. Um, and basically you kind of go through and whenever you make a family member happy, you flip them over to show, hey, their spirit has come back to inhabit the shrine here for the ofrenda on the Day of the Dead here.
Yep.
And you then tally up your scores. Basically the candles are kind of a multiplier. Basically every person that you made happy that came back gets you 2 points for each one of them around that candle. You know, um, basically, all kinds of different, you know, things that you add up. But yeah, it's like really fun. Because also you can even kind of get a little bit into the theming of it. It's like, there's a cool like cat, that can come back. That's um, like a special card that they had at the convention, I think. And then there's the luchador. Um, I consider if you can get him on your board and make him happy, you get a moral victory if nothing else. So, um, it's a kind of a fun light game. And there's a little bit of competition. You also have like this resource, there are marigolds that you have a very limited supply of, and to place some of your um, shrines, you need to either spend or get a marigold from them. And then also to take them from the supply, you need to go and spend marigolds to like not take the one that's free at the beginning. But then you might want to take that one because, 3 people have skipped it and now there's 3 of them sitting there for free kind of things. So yeah, there's a lot of, kind of, normal, kind of, that drafting style, um, like decisions that kind of make it so it's like, this guy's not good for me, but, I'll have plenty of marigolds to go and place out for bonus points later, or to go and
Sounds like a
hit
pretty interesting
somebody
game.
I need. Yeah.
And I'll
All
say it
right.
might not. I would say it might not be everybody's favorite style, but I really actually like the art on this game. I'm looking
Oh
at it right
yeah.
now. It's got some really cool looking art. Personally,
Yep.
I enjoy it. So
Yeah, I forgot to mention that. Yeah, it is very lovely game.
yeah,
From the aesthetics, because it's a little more vibrant too. Because
yeah,
yeah,
it's
it's not.
very vibrant.
Okay. So that was our themed games. Next, we're going into a
Holiday.
harder topic. What's that?
It was holiday. It's supposed to be Christmas.
Well, I just
Originally.
Holiday themed holiday
Theme /
games.
holiday games. Yep.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Uh,
There's
we got
one person.
holidays. Day of the Dead is a holiday.
Anywho, this category is a little harder because this is for younger kids, so it's between 4 and 10. So cognitively, games are difficult for them. So it has to be a simpler game, but it also needs to be a game that the parents or whoever's running the game also is interested in. That way, it keeps the kid interested and engaged, and also it's not one of those things that the parents like, oh, I gotta play this game again. So this is a harder topic because it's hard to gauge like where younger kids are at with these games, but we're gonna give it a shot. So Nathan, what's your recommendation?
Once again, I'm probably the worst person to ask for this category because I don't have kids. I don't play a lot of kids' games, and the ones I've played are mostly out of print already. One of the few that I found that I did like uh, that's still in print is My First Castle Panic.
That's a good
Because
one.
This is cooperative. You are basically, it's a tower defense thing. You're trying to knock out the monsters before they take out your tower, and you can trade cards, and you can help it, and you help little ones when they're struggling by picking up the dead weight. That's probably not the best term to use there, but that's what it is. So my first Castle Panic.
I agree with Nathan. My first Castle Panic is really cool. It has a smaller board than Castle Panic, so you only have this little trail that you're going through, so it's less pieces. You're trying to knock out the goblins or send them back home or whatever wording they use for it as they come out. There's some with special abilities, and it has this really cool castle that stands up at the end. It's a really good, solid kids game, and it does have a nice tension in it, and it's cooperative, which is very important. So it helps make that work. So I think that was a good pick, Nathan. How about you, Evan? What you got?
This was an easy category for me because I have kids. And one of them specifically in this, you cannot guess this game.
I cannot guess it?
I will give you 5 guesses and you would not get this game.
All right, let's find out what this is.
I'm very excited.
So this game, I actually learned of from a different channel, and it's actually other than our
You're
channel.
Looking at other channels?
Well, other than our channel, which is the best board game channel out there. This is probably my second favorite board game channel. But this game is called.
Give them a shout out.
What is the channel?
Yeah,
they deserve to be named.
It's Muppet Tabletop.
I like it.
Oh my gosh,
it's fantastic.
Yeah. It is a good channel.
I have watched everything there because there's storylines that are going on in it. You got to know what's going on. Is he going to pay off Vinny? You don't know. You got to find out. You got to watch more.
It's so good.
It is fantastic.
It is fantastic.
If you happen to be watching that, we'll collaborate with a video with you. I mean, it's not just Lord of the Board, but us too. But one of the games that he had on there, I saw on there, and I was like, "Oh, this is a great game." It has only recently come back on another print run, so I'm able to finally get it now, which I'm probably going to do very, very soon. But the game is called Toy Battle.
Toy Battle.
See, you would never have guessed that. It just came out. Watch their video. It just came out this year. But the game, it's really, really simple. It's a 2-player game. Ages 8+, but you could probably play it lower. It's area control. So on your turn, you have 2 choices of what you're going to do on your turn. You're either going to draw 2 tokens, which gives you more troops, or you're going to place a troop. Now, when you place a troop, there's some placement rules. You can only place it on your headquarters, or you can place it on a square that you can draw back through your own troops, which it has to be connecting to do so. And you can place it on top of enemy troops. But the caveat to that is each troop type has a power on it. You can only place that on top of somebody else's if it's a higher power. That's 90% of the game. So you're going to go and you have this battle that's going out, and you have to coordinate. Do I have the availability to draw more troops because I'm running out or not? What is my opponent doing? Can I counter that? Well, he just placed this 6 power token out. I'm going to need the highest power, 7. So hopefully I draw that dinosaur that has that 7 so I can place it on that. Then you have to watch out for the rubber duck because that trumps all, but everything can place on top of that. So there's a lot of layers of strategy. There's nothing that can always be perpetually beaten. The art style is very cutesy. It fits for a kids board game. What I really, really like too is there are 8 different boards. So there's 8 different battlegrounds that you can fight on. You also can play for medals, which if you surround a certain area, they're worth so many points, and you can play to get to a certain amount of points to win instead of just straight up attacking and getting the enemy's headquarters. So there's a couple different ways that you can win as well. Just overall, the lot of that coming together fit very well for what I would be looking for in a kid's game. And the cherry on top, 15 minutes. And from a bunch of the different reviews I've saw of it, it plays within 15 minutes. So, right there.
What? Actual game time on a box?
Right?
No way.
So here's the thing. If we play this on like Board Game Arena and stuff as a group, we will be playing for 3 hours.
Yeah, it's true.
That's how we roll. But it's fine.
But kids can play it in 15 minutes. It's fine.
Kids can play it in 15 minutes. Yeah, that's a really cool, intriguing pick. I'm gonna have to take a look at that one.
I like the look of it. I'm pulled it up on BGG. I like the look of it for sure. Price point isn't too bad, and like you said, currently available. So about a $30 game.
It doesn't look like it's for older children, but still.
It's an 8+.
8+.
So my game, I know I've played it with my 6-year-old, and I think it's pretty good for in that area, but it's an abstract strategy game at its core. But it's super engaging. Because what is every kid like that I just decided right now? Penguins. Of course, every kid likes penguins. No kid doesn't like penguins. So in this game, you are playing on a map, which is a little bit of these hexagonal tiles that all go out, and the map stays the same size each time. And on the map, you have each of the tile has a fish on it between 1 and 3. And what you're doing is you're trying to be gathering up fish. And the name of this game is called Hey, That's My Fish.
That's my fish.
Right. So you're going to set up this map. The kids are going to put out their little penguins. And then you're going to start the game. The rules are really simple. On your turn, move a penguin if you can. You're going to move it in a straight line, whichever way you want to go. You're going to pick up the tile you came from and collect it. And the really cool part of this game is that's as simple as it is. But the cool part of it is seeing a young kid, like my daughter, figure out how to mess with other people. So it's just amazing. Like the little light, their eyes light up. They're like, oh my gosh, I just cut off my sister. Because like what you can do is you're basically your goal, and the real goal of the game is that you're trying to claim swashes of this place. So when you're picking up these tiles, you can prevent other people's penguins from being able to you restrict their movement. So it's really cool seeing that progression and that clicking of the strategy, but yet the rule set's very, very simple. So that's what I appreciate most about it. I think it's a really fun game for that, and it's super easy to teach.
Every time I've played that, it always turns into one person super hyper fixated on this one section of trying to collect it and not realizing that everyone is slowly cutting them off of the rest of the map. And then they realize and like, oh no.
Pretty much too late.
Yep.
Right. So,
also, when the kid figures out putting the penguin in the middle of the map's good, that's pretty good too. Go ahead.
So Mike, it's okay. So no kids for me also, but I do have nieces and nephews, and off of a recommendation from Evan and James, I picked up the Quest Kids for some of my younger nieces and nephews. This is a dungeon crawler kids game for 2 to 4 players, ages 5+. And so if you enjoy your fantasy themed games, if you enjoy dungeon crawlers and kind of slightly leveling up your players, but you also want to have a game where you're trying to beat each other and yet also help each other at times. This is a really good game for that. I know that there's another really good one out there, but I haven't played it yet, called Cora Quest, I believe.
Oh, good.
And I've heard that one is also a really great implementation of dungeon crawlers for young kids. I enjoy these types of games because, again, one of the big caveats here is you want it to be a game that the adults are enjoying playing as well. And I like these types of games. And so getting my nieces and nephews into nerdy fantasy games is just a bonus. So yeah, I really have enjoyed the Quest Kids, and I am sure I would also enjoy Cora Quest if I had the opportunity to play that. So if you're somebody who gets into elves, dwarves, dungeons, and gaining treasure, the Quest Kids might be for you and your kids.
Now I will say that's an amazing, great pick. That is great for younger audiences. I think that you need to wait a little bit to get into Cora Quest because it's up there compared
compared to the Quest Kids.
Quest Kids is pretty straightforward what you need to do.
Very straightforward standard.
Cora Quest, you need to have a little bit more strategy. there's more consequences in Core Quest. Like your characters can die in Core Quest.
Oh, okay. Good
Well,
to
they're
know.
technically knocked out. They're not dead.
I gotcha. But yeah.
But and there's a whole story in Core Quest that you go through. But
Okay.
Kids Quest, amazing. I can't recommend that one enough. That was a great
Yep.
pick.
Okay. Awesome.
But for another,
And John.
yeah, I was gonna say for like another kind of dungeon one that I got nieces and nephews to play and they enjoyed thoroughly was Hero Quest. So
Yeah, Hero
Mm-hmm.
Quest is ironically very simple.
yep,
Yep.
And you like that D&D theme, it sort of fits in it, right?
Yep.
You have a wizard,
Absolutely.
you have an elf, you have a dwarf, and you got the thing with everything, right?
yeah, and also I kind of like did a little more editorializing, like DMing, like
Yeah.
giving a little bit more like texture to the world as they're
Oh, you got
exploring
to
in
do
there.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah, you gotta change your name from Mentor to something else.
yeah.
Lord John the Seventh.
Mhm.
But
All
yeah,
right,
no. Hero Quest, iconic game. It was reprinted by uh not
Hasbro.
Mattel, right?
Hasbro.
Hasbro, yeah. And it's sold everywhere. Now, a little bit of warning, if you get the Target version, that's a truncated version, that's not the full game. You get little plastic standees and stuff like that. Where if you get the full version, you get really neat little miniatures for your heroes and the monsters.
All right, but for my game though, I guess kind of got a little sidetracked there. So my kind of like simpler game for, let's say you might have nieces and nephews who really just are a little more into like the take that ish kind of gaming play. Because they don't really have the, say, the patience or the headspace for a more strategy or like in depth or patience to learn intricate rules or anything like that. And they might look at it and be like, hey, those are some cute little dinosaurs. Why is there a meteor? The
Oh,
happy little dinosaurs.
yeah, that is actually a interestingly a fun game.
Yeah, it's very simple. The game says 30 to 60 minutes, but I think it goes a lot faster than that. I think that's actually one of the few times where you have the time on the game is overselling it as opposed to under. Because I mean, I'm pretty certain I played like 2 games of it in 30 minutes. So, um, but yeah, it has like a built-in catch-up mechanic as well. Because basically you're competing every round to not have bad thing hit you. And you also have like a few cards that kind of let you be like, oh hey, the bad thing that was going to hit me, hits you instead. Or I'm protected from bad things this turn. And each of the bad things, is also kind of like a fun little uh, like quirky thing because you have like different types of threats, environmental, other dinosaurs, or emotional traumas is one of the third category where like uh, girlfriend breaks up with you on your birthday kind of thing. Level of trauma. So it's all like a little tongue in cheek. So it's like bad things that are you know not quite world ending, except for whenever the meteor hits, and that one's the bad one. So you're just trying not to collect a set. So you don't want, I think it was like three of one or one of each, depending upon player count. I think it like changes. Like you can't have, then two of each or something like that. But you're basically, every round you have cards. You're kind of trying to bluff. They have different abilities, so you're trying to. It starts getting into like they can start getting into a little bit more of okay, if I play this one, it has a lower number, but it has a cool ability that'll let me switch with somebody else. Switch my number. So then I'll be winning this bid. But then somebody else, could have like another kind of, oh hey, you actually wanted lowest this round instead of highest, and um, and so like there's kind of two ways to win. Either you get to the end of the scoring track, or you are the last one standing. And getting to the like I said, it has kind of a matchup mechanic in it, catch up mechanic in it. The number of bad things that have happened to you at the end of the round, you get to move that many spaces forward. So you're always then you start always progressing, even though you might have lost a few rounds of the bidding.
Yeah, and it has that like Doomling style art sort of thing. It might
Yeah,
even be
it's
the
kind
same
of
company.
very, yeah, very cute. Well, it's the tea turtle people. Yeah, it's like this
Yeah,
art style.
which is fun, bright colors, and yeah, not a
Yep.
bad pick. All right, so now we're gonna get into a lot of controversy when it gets to me, so a little foreshadowing with that. But this is cooperative games. These are the games that you can sit down at a table and you get to play together for a shared goal, and you either win together or you lose together, maybe. Um, so this is going to be pretty popular way of getting like entry level games in because you work on it together. So these ones can typically be a little bit more complicated for people that aren't really into the board game hobby and still be okay. And there is a ton of these. So Nathan, what is your number one cooperative game?
Well, the one I chose is probably the most expensive one we've talked about so far. It's like almost 150 bucks, so you have to really love this person if you're gonna buy this game for them. But that's Return to Dark Tower. The thing that makes this cool and great for holidays is it's an interactive game with you have a tower in the middle that lights up and causes events to happen. So it's a really attention grabbing game. But basically, it's an adventure game. You're going around the map trying to deal with various events that are popping up, put away corruptions, trying to power up your character, and you know fulfill a quest. And the whole time, this tower is making noises, trying to scare you, and you have these lights that come on and these walls that like shift and can open and have corruption pour out of the tower. So it's
Yeah.
really cool in that aspect, and it's really has an amazing table presence.
I tried to
Yeah.
get James to buy it at Library
Yeah.
Game Day, but he wouldn't do it.
No, I couldn't bring myself to do it. Now it is a nostalgic game too, so you'll find like a lot of the older audience here, including myself, are really into that game because we remember it from the 80s ish area. And it was one of the best electronic games at the time. We had a little run of electronic games that were more modern feeling. But this one was reinvented, gave some new mechanics, and made better. It's really good, really great production quality. It's really worth $150. But yes, that is up there for a game.
And
Yeah, it was worth $125, James, and you
I
didn't.
know. I know.
I believe there's a new crowdfunding expansion for it, so it's becoming available, widely available again because of that. It really
Oh,
hasn't
it's still
gone
in
away.
retail too.
Yeah.
You can get it retail
Oh yeah.
normally. So outside the campaign. Uh, what you got?
All right, so the game I picked for this one is a re-implementation of a game, and this game does it better than the original
Okay.
because they took the key concepts of the game, kept that, threw out a couple things, and made the game run half as long.
Okay.
Wins all around. So I picked Mysterium Park. So the original Mysterium, I have never had a game of Mysterium that was under an hour. They're always an hour plus. Mysterium Park, you can easily get that game done in half an hour. But the core concepts are still the same. There's a murder. You're trying to solve it. You're trying to solve it by leading people to correct assumptions of people or things with these weird, funky cards that are their dreams. And you have to
Yeah, like
implement,
Dixit
you have to
cards.
try and get them to focus on certain things without saying anything, which is the
Ooh.
absolute hardest
Well,
thing.
you're
And
allowed
then
to say "ooh."
you listen to what they say, and then you see them focus on the wrong thing, and you like want to smack them because no, I don't want you to worry about the red hat she's wearing, but the green
That is
literally everywhere else.
hilarious.
I do not believe that
That is
any of you can
hilarious.
actually play this game by the rules. None of you are able to be quiet and play a game.
Well, no, we played it by the rules. I'm pretty sure no one cheated
Then
because I
why
was
can't
not the
you, then,
ghost.
then why can't we play the other quiet game by the rules?
I didn't say we make sense. I just said, and also I agree that game Mysterium Park replaced Mysterium for me. Completely.
I've never played Mysterium Park. I've only ever played Mysterium, and I like Mysterium
Oh,
as
I do too.
is.
I
So
like Mysterium a
Mysterium
lot as
Park, I'm
well.
sure I would just enjoy more.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
just like it
It's-
took out the long, drawn out process of Mysterium. Not that that was a bad thing, because it was still a fun game for me.
But if you want the game
And
to move quicker,
just condensed it. Well, it didn't just do that. It
Mhm.
condensed it to be a funner game with where you were just doing the fun parts.
yeah,
the box is
it's a much smaller
it's
box
small.
I've seen as
Oh
well.
yeah, yeah. It's like quick setup time. Yeah, it's like it's streamlined.
Okay, nice. I'll have to try that one at some point because I do
I think
like
you'll love it.
Mysterium. So
Yeah,
So what's
I
yours?
still
Oh
feel
wait,
like
it's
there's a
me.
lot in Mysterium, but yeah.
Yeah, Mysterium just
So,
plays just on a tad too long.
sure.
This does not have that problem.
so my game is
Mhm.
slightly cheaper than Nathan's and significantly better.
Ooh.
And not a real game.
You already know what it's gonna be.
I
And
absolutely
not
know what it is.
and not a real game.
So this game here, so basically if you go in and you want a game where you can do all sorts of different things with the game. It's good. This one's app based. It's Cthulhu-esque. And each mission is really different. And even when you play the same mission, it changes it. And when you keep adding more content to this game, it goes back and changes your original games. um, but this is Mansions of Madness. This is a game system that was put out, I believe Simon did it. I think
Mhm.
I might be wrong about that.
It can be whoever you want it to be,
Fantasy
James.
Flight, I think.
Oh, it was Fantasy Flight. Okay,
Fantasy Flight.
yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, the base system comes with these amazing miniatures. It comes with this module board that you set up, and you go into these mysteries. Some of them are murder mysteries. Some of them are straight up where you're just running from a monster. Some of them you have to do puzzles. It's really cool on how they push the limits of what a board game is. Some of them you leave the building and you go out into a jungle. You're like, what is happening? It's just really, really great. It has great ambiance, has a really great immersion. It has all the text in the game is I don't know what you call it. Someone speaks for it, and it's really done good voice acting. Really, just great game. And actually, what you need to teach people when they play it is very little, very, very little. The game handles everything for you. So this is not Mansions of Madness, the first edition, because the Mansions of Madness, the first edition, made you do everything. So this is Mansions of Madness, the second edition. That's the one you want to look for. Really phenomenal game. Tons of replayability for it because there's tons of missions to do, and it's just
And if
super
only
exciting.
James could play it as much as he talks about it.
I know.
It's not a. I want to change mine since we're making up games.
He's
Mine,
making
I
games
wanted
up from
is
whole cloth.
Houses of Insanity is a great
Houses of
game
Insanity.
by Hoopity-Doos, and
I
you're
think
going
everyone
out and
here has
mowing
played it
lawns
except
with-
for you, Evan, at this point.
Yeah. John, have you played it?
I have played it, yeah, multiple
Yeah. So
times.
everybody here has played it except for Evan.
Everybody's
Yeah.
played it multiple times, but not Evan. I
So,
feel bad that I kept giving Evan.
So here's the
That's so
thing:
funny.
if you're new to watching our content, okay, I have been on this channel now for over 4 years. 4
Yes.
years. In the 4 years, James has repeatedly said, "We're gonna play this game that's really amazing."
That is one of his most favorite games ever.
Yeah, one of my favorite games ever.
4 years.
And-
4
and-
years.
Yeah. I think the last time I played this game with James was at RockCon.
It was actually.
And that was, I think
Yeah.
Nathan might have actually been there for that.
He
one.
was. And Nathan,
Yeah.
and Evan has not met Nathan either yet.
No,
Nathan's not real. He's
Because
AI.
Nathan is
I've
also
met
not
Nathan.
real.
Yeah. He was digitally uploaded a little while ago.
Yeah,
Oh man.
so- All these things are not real. I mean, I've been
Oh,
promised them
man.
for many times,
What-
many years.
I'll say we'll have to change that, but you won't believe me. So,
No, you're made up game.
So,
What?
Th-
January. January's a good time.
Yeah, that's true.
so cooperative game for me. This is a game that I've only played once so far, but I'm putting it on this list because I also kind of one, I want to play it again, and two, I might end up wanting to get it if I like it enough that second time. I have seen it now in person, and the table presence is wonderful. I love the table presence, but the time that I got to play it was online, and that is The Lord of the Rings: Fate of the Fellowship.
Uh, yes, yes.
So this is it is the same creator as Pandemic,
Rob Davio.
Rob Davio. So it has a lot of that same feel to it, but it is ported over to the Lord of the Rings Middle Earth setting. You're playing as the members of the Fellowship. Each person will be playing as two people, and you're going around Middle Earth trying to complete quests so that you can then eventually, after completing enough quests, do the major quest, which is getting Frodo and Sam to Mount Doom to destroy the ring. Um, it is a beautiful looking game. It is less expensive than Nathan's game for sure. I think it's less expensive maybe than also James's game.
I'm pretty sure
This
it's
one's
in the $70 range.
I was gonna say this one's coming in around $80, I think.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a fairly new game. It's only been around for I don't know 6 8 months, something like that. I don't think it's been a
This
year
year.
yet.
Yeah.
So it's a new this year. Um, I am not a huge Pandemic fan, but I like some of the ideas there, and so to take the ideas that are in Pandemic but put it to Lord of the Rings just makes me like it that much more. And also the fact that they made the game as beautiful as they did.
Yeah.
I am a big fan. You have the map of Middle Earth. You have the miniatures of the Nazgul on the winged creatures, and they're up on these clear plastic standees, and you get to move those around the board. It's just a really good looking game, and I personally do still really love cooperative games quite a lot. And so having a group work together to figure this out and make the all the quests come into play. And this one, I think, more so than Pandemic, gets you away from having the ability to have one player feel like they're just taking over the game and trying to make all the best decisions for everybody. I feel like this one does a good job of giving each player their own autonomy to make their decisions. And so it's just, to me, it is a better, much better version, I think, of those mechanics that you get in Pandemic. Um, and that's just,
Yeah.
that's just a personal preference. I have only ever, like I said, played it the one time. So I can't say that I love it yet, but the idea of it and the look of it make me want to play it again. And if you have a family member that you're buying presents for who loves Lord of the Rings and board games, I don't think you're going to be able to go wrong with this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
I will
did
say
play it
that.
myself. And
Good
yeah,
point.
I definitely agree on the whole. I also not a huge fan of Pandemic, and I feel like it has the whole, you know, I just one person should be running this because it make a lot more
Mm-hmm.
sense. But every player, especially with having the two characters and enough kind of interaction, and there's enough other planning, and like the board has enough going on that you know what you kind of need just one person. Hey, paying attention, like, hey guys, we need to do something about this. You
Yeah,
know,
rather than having everybody trying for like a single quest at a time, everybody's off doing their own little quests at the same time. And you can sometimes two people might merge to help with the same quest,
Yeah.
but it's not everybody doing just one thing at a time, which leads to I think one person kind of taking over.
And
Also,
So,
with
yeah,
Pandemic, people only have one purpose.
yeah,
So
correct.
each character only has one thing, and it's really obvious what everything needs to happen,
Mhm.
or very obvious in Pandemic what everything needs to happen. So it just like fuels that.
Sure.
Where this game, you do have special abilities,
Mhm.
but you're not a one-hit wonder. You
Yeah.
have a lot of options you can go through and a lot of different things. So it's not like, hey, medic, you only medic. Go
yeah,
medic here. You know.
Mhm. Yep, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. 2 points for the game, and then a gameplay thing. I haven't got to play it, but from seeing the previews and stuff for it, it solved the quarterback issue that pandemic games have. It
Mhm.
really did. Two other points with it was, one, you get a Barador dice tower,
Oh, the
Yeah,
tower
yeah,
is
Like-
yeah.
awesome.
and you don't have to fully disassemble it every time, so which is really great. The box implementation to store it, great.
And you don't necessarily have to use it for that game.
Correct.
And then after our playthrough and review of it, the second best one is Muppet Tabletop's review of the game, which was fantastic.
Oh.
So
Absolutely. All right, John, what about you?
Oh, I was supposed to come up with a cooperative game. I mean,
Yeah.
who plays those?
Nobody.
Oh, wait, I do with my partner, and I so
Yeah,
like
I
that
know
one's
which one
that's
this
where I
one
come in.
is.
Yeah, it's Dead Cells.
Yeah.
So good. I mean, it is. There's like been like a bunch of like really good like board game implementations of video games, like this War Mine, um, Frost. What was the Frost one?
Frostgrave.
Frostpunk?
Frostpunk. There we go. Yeah,
Yeah,
that
that's a
one
good
was
one too.
really good.
This
But
Little Wormeye is a very depressing game.
yeah,
Also, the video game's really depressing too, so it doesn't really matter. It's depressing.
yeah,
Well, I think that was
but
the point of it, though.
yeah. But unlike the other ones, though, um, Dead Cells does a very good job of being its own game while still
Okay.
pulling very heavily from like the ideas and themes of the video game. So with like the other ones, I was just like, you know what? I already know everything that's happening. I already know that this is the decisions we need to make to get past this scenario, you know. But with Dead Cells, it is its own game, and it takes like I think a very good implementation of like the roguelike, you know, um, like mechanics and making it a board game, because you have kind of like the whole excitement of, all right, we're getting through this run. Hey, we need to focus on this one so we can get more cells to like upgrade ourselves, at the end of this run. Whether or not, you complete or not, you're at least making progress. Plus, everybody has like their own deck, so you're kind of even, it's a little bit of like a deck builder, and you're getting, as you're upgrading the different attributes, you're getting more cards and taking some cards out, you know, deciding, okay, hey, this run, let's go ahead and go with the extra health, or this other bonus. There's a lot of things to be found, and there's even some humor in the upgrade process too, whenever you're just spending your leftover cells. So I won't say anything more on that, but I may have gotten a good laugh.
Yeah, there's a lot of content for it too, so you can play the game for a really long time.
Oh yeah, we've been playing it for months now. Like, and it's also very quick too. Um,
Well,
uh,
except for the one game we played.
yeah. Well, there was one that me and Jen played, and we died on like the first encounter. So there's sometimes you get a very short run, and then sometimes you'll get all the way to the end. But it's a lot of fun. I mean, I've enjoyed it the entire time.
Yeah, so like all solid choices here. Um, the last topic we have, or last category we have, this is going to be the games for your stocking stuffer. So Mechs versus Minions does not fit in a stocking, Nathan. You cannot pick it.
It
They have
depends
to
on
be
how big of
games
a
that fit
stocking you've got, James.
I guess so. It has to be a stocking that is in reasonable ideas of a stocking. Although if you break that, I can't do anything about it. But anyhow,
Hippo-sized stocking stuffer for me.
he's like, well, it's dresses. Um, Nathan, what's your stocking stuffer game?
So this one, I think it's more suitable as a stocking stuffer than a full gift because it's a great game, but it's not the prettiest game. So it's, I would hesitate to put this on the list, but I ended up because the game's so good, I did end up including it as For Sale Automa. So
Okay, I forgive you. You mean you might have to shove a little bit, but it'll get in there.
it'll get it. It's a little bit tight, but
Yeah.
despite the way it looks, it's quite good. It's a bidding game with multiple phases. So the first phase, you're doing a traditional bidding, going around until you bid the highest. The person bids the highest gets the first staff for their car sale, whatever they call those places. And those staff have powers that you can use towards the next round of bidding, which is a blind bid. So everybody's gonna bid blind, one staff member, and the highest value staff member gets to choose first. But you also have to remember whatever their power was, which is oftentimes like, oh well, you get extra cash if you get a certain car or whatnot. And then so you're bidding for cars in the second round. Once you bid for cars, you're now doing the same bidding mechanic without the powers to bid for checks. You're selling off those cars, and it's like whoever has the highest value checks at the end of the game wins the game. So it's really simple. You can play it. I think it only takes 15 to 20 minutes, and you could take this with you traveling, and thematically, I think Cars is great for a travel game.
All right, there you go. How about you, Evan?
So mine, I could have stuck into the party game category, but I slid it down into this one just because this one's a little bit harder to get. It goes through spurts where you can kind of get it a little easier. Sometimes you have to look into finding a copy at your local game store. But the game I picked is A Fake Artist Goes to New York. So this came
Yeah.
out quite a few years ago, but the game is really simple. So one person is going to pick a category, and then they write down specifically a certain thing. So say you pick animal, and then you write down on these dry erase cards, cat. You're going to write them on all of them except for one. One of them you're just going to put an X on, and it's going to go out to everybody, and everybody's going to look at their dry erase board and see, oh, we have to draw a picture of a cat, except for the person that has an X. Then there's going to be a paper that goes around it. Everyone has to draw a line. The person that has the X doesn't know what you're supposed to be drawing. They've got to fake it through the entire thing. And you have to figure out who was the person that had no idea what was going on. But they can steal it at the end to get the point if they can guess correctly what it was supposed to be that they were drawing the entire time.
Yeah.
It's a very fun, simple game. It plays 5 to 10 people, but really, realistically, you could play more. We played it a few times. You could play with young kids all the way up. It is a tiny box game. It's put out by Oink Games. All their games are really, really small. You can usually find it at a board game store for like $15-20 if you can find it. That's the only problem. That's why it went down to this category as opposed to higher up on like my party games. So, but I have a copy of it. It's fun.
Yeah, Target sells it every once in a while too.
I would also say if you can't find the physical copy, you can actually buy it for a couple bucks on the Oink Games app.
That's true, and that app's pretty cool.
Yeah, and the biggest thing that there is it seems there's a lot of foreign translations of it. That's fine. Just get one of those because you really just need the stuff in it, and you get the English rules on like BGG.
But mine fits Christmas even better. Yeah, it fits in.
Is it a real game?
Real easy. It is a real game, and it's what everyone thinks about at Christmas, and that, of course, is origami. Everyone thinks about origami at Christmas. It's just a thing I made up right now, but that's what happens. So, in this game, this is called Sea Salt and Paper. And this game here, you're going to be sort of pushing your luck a little bit, but you're basically trying to do set collections or get all 4 of those mermaids to instant win the game. But you're trying to build up points. And depending on the number of players, you have a number of points that you need to get to win the game. But you can't go out unless you have 7 points. At that point, you can decide whether you just want to stop the game and everyone scores for what they have. Or you could push your luck. And if you push your luck and you end up having the highest score, so everyone else gets one more turn, you get be the only one that scores, and you get a color bonus. The other players get their color bonus, so they'll get 1 or 2 points, but realistically, you get the largest share of points. However, if you're wrong, everyone else scores and you just get your color bonus, which will be like 1 or 2 points. So it's a really cool sort of game there where you're sort of pushing your luck. Do I really want to stop the game right now? Do I want to try to win faster? How are the other people doing? Are they doing really well? Am I seeing where they're getting lots of sets? I should just stop the game. So there's a lot of really cool things to think about. It's really fun, really easy. You do have like these little bonus abilities that you can get. Some cards you have to play in pairs to even get points for, but they do an ability. They have this shark and swimmer thing where you can actually steal a card from another player. So that's another concern. Like, hey, I got 4 octopuses. I have a lot of points right now. Nathan has a shark. Nathan's a horrible person. I better stop the game.
I'm double downing. Nathan is a horrible person.
Never seen so many people. Nathan can just say, hey, last chance, which is the thing where everyone else gets a turn, and just pull it off. Like, it's super annoying. Like, only person that could do that. But it's a really fun game. The art is phenomenal on the cards. It's a small box game, easy to teach. This is my pick.
I would like to pick something better than sea salt and paper, but the problem is I also chose sea salt and paper. So another double up, and James sold it very well. The only last thing that I will state is you're going to be able to get this game for under $15. Like, it is not an expensive game. It's very small. I agree with James. Art is beautiful. The gameplay is a lot of fun. Just don't play with Nathan. It'll be fine. No, it's a really good game. James, you said everything there is to say about it, and also what to say about it is 2 of us chose it for this category.
Yeah.
So there you go. Sea salt and paper. Get that, put it in someone's stocking, and then immediately make them open it and play it with them. It'll be perfect.
Now, there is a mini expansion I haven't played yet for it.
Oh, I didn't know they had a mini expansion. That's exciting.
A couple extra cards. I think it gives you extra pairings, but I'm really excited to try that.
Yep. And then, John, you want to wrap us up with your stocking stuffer?
Yeah, mine. Well, because also it said travel as well. So, I was kind of more of a, maybe if you got like a bigger stocking, you might be able to jam this one in there. And it's also another duplicate. And this one here, this is where I put Mysterium Park.
I was going to say Mansions of Madness. They ain't fitting in the stocking.
Madness. Yes. No, because it's, it's a nice small box, really easy to, if you're going to travel with family, and because it's also a cooperative game, it makes it a great travel game for that reason. And yeah, you don't need to go and bring the big board game box with you if you're just bringing a couple of games like that.
Yeah, it's a good pick. I really like it. I think Peter needs to get into a game of that, and I think he'll love it too.
So. Yeah, I'm sure I will.
Yeah,
but anyway,
I'll bring it next library game day if nothing else.
There we go. Good. We also have our convention in January.
Yes, we do.
Our first ever convention. It's going to be a nice little affair. Lots of games, lots of fun. So if you're in and around the area, show up. If you like buying plane tickets and going to ultra small conventions,
come and check it out.
I don't know if that's a good idea, but I'm not stopping you.
We're going to be in Katanning, PA. It's going to be Saturday, Sunday, January 17th and 18th, if I'm remembering correctly. And again, it's going to be at the Masonic Lodge in Katanning, PA. And it's just $6 a day. So we would love to see people there. So if you watch and you want to join us, we'll be there. It'll be fun.
Yeah, and you get to hang out with us. So, it's better. Nathan will prove that he's real or not.
I might ship my server down.
You ship his server down. Perfect. We'll plug you into a monitor. It'll be good to go.
But yeah, so that was our list of recommendations for holiday games. I hope you guys liked it. There's a lot of games out there. Just play games and have fun. Yes. But if you like what we do, help us out. Like and subscribe. It really helps us out, get more content out to y'all and all that fun stuff, and even know what you guys like. But either way, I hope you all have a great day, and thank you for watching.